Hi everyone, I am Joy, and I am here with you this morning doing the cosmic manifestation, cosmic awakening and manifestation with KaiyoteMoon. She is the reason why myself and I believe 7 other creatives are flowing through the rest of this week, starting today, with healing of the chakras. So if you are not aware of what a chakra is, it's a point of energy throughout your body. It starts at the crown and meets at your root. And today we are focusing on the solar plexus, which is your sacral chakra. And it is at the point right below your sternum. That's right, in the heart of your belly. And we were tasked with having different ways of flowing through these exercises every day. And I have chosen flowing through it through Reiki. I am a Reiki 2 practitioner. I was certified back in May, and after about a year or so of contemplating, do I really want to do this? I don't know if I have the ability, blah, blah, blah. I allowed myself the teaching and to seek out the correct teacher. So, hi everyone. What I will be doing today is some variations of Reiki through cord cutting, and as well as little bits and pieces of ASMR. How my healing journey has been for me this year, and I believe this is one of the reasons why God chose me to be a part of this. It's not even really a challenge, it's more of just an exercise to help all of us finish out the year strong. Is I have been in a space of intense and transformative healing from old mindsets, old beliefs, old paradigms, old everything. And one thing that assisted me with that has been Reiki, and being able to turn the healing properties that I do have, that I've had my whole life, that I ran away from due to church or religion or someone telling me that it was weird. The things that I told myself I couldn't do and I couldn't be have assisted me so much in this, on this road to being able to effectively heal, and as well as to heal myself. It's been a really, the word that just keeps coming to me is transformative year. As I was doing my full moon ritual last night, as I was praying over my candle, I said I did not expect me to be in the space that I am now a year ago. And that's in an amazing way, not in a negative, not in a sad, not in a woe is me way. Even though that I went through that this year. Oh, I feel so sorry for me. All these things that are happening, everything's falling apart. I've lost this person, this, that, and the third. And one thing that someone I really love, my sister, told me in the midst of everything that was going on was, you didn't lose anything or anyone, you shed. And in the process of shedding, we prepare ourselves for what's new, what is to come. So you didn't lose anyone. Those people, those situations, those places could not go with you where you're going. And it took me a really long time to let that go, because I was very codependent. I was very attached to things, how I wanted things to be, how I wanted things to look. And now, having come a near complete 180, I say near because I still feel like there are some things that I'm still working through. I'm now in that space where I can go, okay, I am independent of other people. I am independent of other people's thoughts, processes, projections. I am independent of that. I no longer am relying on somebody else's thoughts of me to get me through. Do I care about what other people think? Honestly, it depends on the person. I'm no longer beholden to how somebody else feels about me and what I'm doing to wake up every morning, to decide whether or not I want to be this person's friend, or I want to be in their life, or however way I decide to navigate through it. And I never thought I would be in that place. One, because I didn't even know that's what I was going through until it was brought to my attention. Secondly, I didn't know I had the power. And it started with me cutting cords. And it was a scary thing, because typically what happens when you cut cords, and cutting cords is when you energetically sever a tie with someone, something, person, place, thing, or idea. And it can be really intimidating. It can be scary. Sometimes that cord can sever in the hopes of starting fresh and beginning again. Sometimes that cord needs and must be severed to begin the healing process for you. And anyone can cut cords. You just have to be in the right mindset and have the strong enough intentions and beliefs to follow through with the cutting of cords. Because one thing that does typically happen when cords are cut, very similar to what tends to happen with the retrograde, is sometimes the people that you are cutting those cords from manifest all over again. And they'll just show up and be like, hey stranger, hey big head. And you get those types of vibes, and you have to be strong will and strong self-power to go, no, I'm continuing to cut this cord because it's not healthy or conducive to my well-being and where I am headed to. So again, my modality that I will be using throughout the next 7 days, well 6.5 because we're on the first day, is Reiki. So whenever I conduct Reiki, be it long distance or in person, I always use my rainbow quartz. I love my rainbow quartz. It spoke to me when I started my process, and when my Reiki master told me to go find a crystal that spoke to me, and it could be anything that resembles a wand. So I initially was thinking, oh, I'm going to get selenite because selenite wands. But this one spoke to me, and I love this crystal. It gives me what I need whenever I'm doing my sessions, and it just gives me all the things that I need. I'm trying to have my music going. I just want to make sure that it's not too loud, but it assists in manifestation. It assists in helping myself, the conduit, relay these messages, whatever messages come to me, to the receiver. I specialize in a brand of Reiki that is specific towards trauma, because I am someone who cares very deeply about getting through trauma and working through those things. And because myself, I have been working through trauma, working through these things, it made sense that my focuses when I work in my Reiki sessions is trauma, be it childhood trauma, present day adulthood trauma, grief, depression, anxiety, bipolar, anything that has to do when the body restricts itself and wants to hurt, but sometimes we don't allow ourselves that process. We don't give ourselves the room to feel however we need to feel. And I look to find those things in the body, and I've been doing this since I was a kid. I just never knew what it was. I would always go to my grandmother and like hover over her and think that I'm like giving her special powers, or she's giving me special powers, and she would look at me like I'm crazy. But I've been doing this my whole life. I just never knew what it was. And when I really started to look into it, my childhood religion would tell me that it was evil, when Jesus himself laid hands on people and was able to pull through things through Reiki. And actually, if you look into the history of Reiki, a lot of those teachings are based on the teachings and the healing works of Jesus. So it's a funny thing how religion always kind of comes in and just mess things up. So I use my rainbow quartz during my sessions, And specifically what I use to cut cords is my blue kyanite. It is one of my favorites. I found out exactly what it does earlier this year, and watching another video somewhere. I was specifically went looking for cutting cord videos, and luckily I had just bought this maybe a day or so, even a week before, and the woman was saying that this is one of any of the kyanite lines, actually, because they're very high vibrational, but they work really well to cut cords. So when I think of solar plexus, I think of self-esteem, self-worth, bravery in navigating this life, trusting yourself, willpower. And a lot of us, especially in 2018, have either never had it and we're so afraid to walk that path, or had it and had some things happen to us which caused us to no longer feel safe in our bodies. We didn't trust ourselves, and when we have one chakra misaligned, they're all misaligned. It's very similar to your vertebrae and to your spine. If one part of that is out of whack and out of alignment, the entire system is messed up and needs to be realigned. So solar plexus, to me, even though it's very close to the root, for me, being a Virgo, a lot of what I do for me comes through solar and sacral. And because my intuition is in the middle of my body, I feel things there before I hear or see them. I feel them in the core of me. And I want to cut the cords of those of us who are still holding on to beliefs that are no longer serving our self-worth, our self-determination, our power, our will, what we are willing into this world, what we are trying to pull into this world. We may be still holding on to something, someone, other things, other people, other mindsets, things that people have put into us, told us that this is how things had to be, projections, because other people are afraid. They want to project their things onto you because for whatever reason they don't want you to go through it, or in other spaces, jealousy, they don't want you to go through it because they haven't gone through it, so why should you be the one to go? Any of those things. We're here to cut those cords that are affecting, really connecting you to your solar plexus, your power, your strength, everything that has to do with you inwardly. So, we're going to get quiet. We're going to get to ourselves. We're going to, if you're listening to this anywhere else and you're not in a place where you're able to stop, breathe, and think, and just allow all these words to come and sit with you where you are, this energy will be available to you regardless of when you come in. This energy will not dissipate once the video is over or once the challenge is over. It will always be here for you. I will put it in my highlights so that you can always have it. You can come back to it when you feel a little bit of those cords are still attached, even if it's by one thread. So, but if you are in a space at this very moment where you can get quiet, get to yourself, and take a deep breath, take a few cleansing deep breaths, and we're going to get started with aligning our solar plexus and cutting these cords. Reiki guys, I ask that you protect us during this journey, protect us during this time, that you watch over the work that we are doing, that you bless the work that we are doing, that you assist us in the cutting of these cords and the cutting of any energetic parasites, vampires that are affecting our strong will, our will to thrive, our will to strive harder, our will to strive higher, our will to move forward, our will to believe in ourselves, our will to do what we need to do for our Reiki in the most healing and understanding of ways. That's my hands. Speak to me. Tell me where to go. Tell me where to speak. Tell me where to pull from. So any negative energy that is coming in right now telling you that you can't have this, that you can't move forward, that you cannot speak your truth, that you cannot be who you truly are. We pull that up. Using our karmic. Okay. We transmute that energy into something positive. We pull from the bottom of you telling you that you don't have what it takes. Your self-worth has been hit a few times this year, this month, this week. We cut. We are not allowing that which no longer serves us to hold up space in our lives. We're taking that and we're cutting every cord that someone has placed there, that we ourselves have placed there, because it felt natural, it felt like what we had to do. We are no longer allowing that which leaves us stagnant, which leaves us stuck. We are chopping the leaves, everything that was meant to keep us where we are. Those roots that have been there. Cut. Those roots that we grew into, that became negativity, that became evilness, that became what was expected of us. people, family, friends, partners that expected things of us. And when they did not get what they expected, they threw us away. We pull up those roots. We cut. They no longer serve us. They no longer give us any sort of sustenance. They never did. Any sustenance that they even alluded to giving us. We have fresh water now. We have a fresh psyche. We have a fresh outlook. We have a fresh feeling of self-worth. Our self-worth is not dependent upon whether someone else understands us, whether someone else believes us, or whether someone else tells us that we're worthy, that we are good enough in their eyes. Our view of ourselves has shifted and continues to shift to make us feel how we're supposed to feel. How we are meant to feel. If you can see, I am cutting from where I feel the energy is the most dense. And I'm taking my kite knife and I am cutting right through it. I am not allowing myself to stay in one spot. I am repeating certain things because I want people to understand that this is something that all of us go through. And especially going into 2019, and so many of us are saying, new year, new me. Actually start finding out who that new you is. And that starts with cutting the cords of that which no longer serves us. You're literally cutting off that which no longer serves us. Whether it's people, places, things, mindsets, abilities. Someone told you you were great at this thing and it's something that you never really connected with, but you did it because this person was of authority. This person allegedly knew more than you did. So you took everything they said and ran with it, and it was set in stone, regardless of whether it was true, regardless of whether it helped you. You went with it because you had no understanding of your own self-worth. You had no understanding of your own self-identity. And even if you did, it scared you. Because how dare you be better? How dare you have a better understanding? How dare the universe be working with you in a completely different way? That's offensive. We can't let people see that. We can't let people have that. We have to make sure that people are comfortable. No, we don't. Cutting those cords right now. You are not here to make anyone feel comfortable. Unless you are a parent. Unless that person is somebody that is connected with you and you are supposed to be there, help me, do whatever you need to do with that. But even then, that person is their own individual. It's not on you to make them feel comfortable. You do not shrink down your self-worth because somebody else is uncomfortable. You do not make yourself small. You do not make yourself into this monument of shame and pain and upset and projection, and you are no one's infirmary. You are no one's hospital. You are no one's funeral director. You do not bring dead things that are not your responsibility back to life. That's not what you do. You are not doing it anymore. You cut those cords. And it's not who you are. It never was. Someone came along and told you that's what you were supposed to be because we were easy targets. Someone told us that that's what we had to be because we were easy. We were malleable because we have big hearts. We're empaths. However way we decide we want to break it down and allow that sort of behavior to be used towards us is no longer effective. It's no longer worth it. We're digging them up. We're pulling up our roots. Nope. You see those? If you can see them, to me they're bright orange. They are soon as they go over there, they turn black. They're cut off at the roots. We're not doing that anymore. Your solar plexus is, for me, is at the meat of you. Your heart is at the heart of you. Your solar plexus, for me, is at the meat of me. And it embodies everything of who I am at my literal core. And it's been misaligned, it's been abused, it's been devalued, it's been any other sort of way you can imagine bringing something that is meant to be up high down below so it could be easily digestible. You are not meant to be easily digestible. You are meant to be taken as strong as you are. If you are strong black coffee, there's no need for you to add any sort of sweetener to make somebody else be able to tolerate you. And that is something I have been learning this year. You don't have to be it. The people that are meant to be here will take you as you are. That does not mean that if you're an awful person, you get to stay that awful person. That's not what that means. But if you are in a space where you are coming into who you are and people are telling you that it makes them uncomfortable, you can ask a question, you can have a dialogue. But if people are attempting to throw you away because you make them uncomfortable with who they are and what they're dealing with and what they're working through, those people are none of your concern. And you cut those cords. Again, we're using blue kyanite, which is very high vibrational. It aligns all the chakras. But because we're working specifically with solar plexus today, we're working to realign that, and we're working to realign that by cutting cords. You're cutting those attachments, you're cutting those energetic ropes. And for me, when I started really cutting cords, it felt like lifting eels out of the bottom of a swamp, and they're slimy and they're squirming. They're like, why did you disturb me? And because you're not helpful here. You're not helping me anymore. You were never helping me to begin with. But I didn't know what to do with you. I thought you were a part of me. But you aren't. We don't have to live with that anymore. You pull and you cut them off at the root. You pull, you cut them off. That's the point. So as we work through our solar plexus today, and because my focus is specifically with trauma and helping those and retelling that story and transmuting that energy, we take every pull, all of them. My solar plexus is on fire right now because I'm not only helping y'all to pull and cut your cords, I'm pulling and cutting my own as well as I sit here with you all. They're like weeds. You come through with that weed whacker. You toss that energy. You get it off you. As we prayed to our Reiki guides before this session started, that we will be protected during this. We will be protected during this because this could be a very heavy process. This is something that can cause little pangs of anxiety, pangs of worry. It's unfamiliar, so we don't like unfamiliarity. We like things to stay the same, but we can't grow unless things change. So we have to work through these, and I am cutting them off at the root. I am going down below me to cut them off where they are, and to continue cutting them off where they are. And what do we do? This is something that I had to learn, and I'm continuing to learn, and I'm gonna just keep cutting while I'm talking to you. You cannot cut a cord and not replace it with something. It's like cutting your knee wide open and not putting a band-aid there. You cannot allow that space to be wide open and not refill it or fill it for the first time with something healthy. So as we cut the cords of negativity and negative self-talk and negative talk that has been put on us, and the thought processes and the things and the stagnant beliefs that we have held on to. Replace them with the exact opposite. That may take some time. It took me some time to find what the opposite of my truth was, and learning what my actual truth means for me. So in that, I want you to find your own affirmations and your own manifestations as you cut these cords. And I'm really like getting in deep, digging some stuff up, bringing it to the surface. As you continue, and maybe even for the first time, work through replacing the energy cords that have been cut with positive affirmations and manifestations. I am worthy. My self-will is powerful, and it is exactly what I need to get through anything that the world throws at me. I am no longer ashamed of my own power. Of course, switch it up. Add some of your own. Do that healing work. It's going to be confusing. It's going to be it's going to be uncomfortable. I was going to say embarrassing, but it's going to be uncomfortable to speak to yourself in that way, because we aren't used to it. We aren't used to, many of us aren't used to just speaking openly, lovingly towards ourselves without there being any sort of about it. Because the world will have us think that is a weird trait to have, and trust me, coming from me, I thought that was the weirdest thing you could do, was to show yourself some love. No, we're supposed to be strong, we're supposed to just go through things, and tragedy and trauma determines my self-worth. No. Nope. That's not your story. Everything I'm telling you, I am telling you in real time, because I'm healing right along with y'all. And I may be a little farther than some, and I may be a little farther up than some, I may be farther back than others, but we're all on this path of healing, and we all heal at different times and different variations and different strengths, and healing never ends. Healing never stops. Inevitably, once you heal one thing, one other thing will pop up and go, hey, me too. And the work always differs. You have to tweak a few things to heal something new every time. And one thing has been for me is saying affirmations over myself. It's such an odd thing for me. 'Cause it's like, it's so odd, but it's helpful at the same time. I'm continue with the cut cords. I am cutting with the cords I have on myself, as well as the collective. Hitting spots that my guides are telling me to hit, and to be very intentional with the cords that I am cutting. So as I wrap up here, and we continue to work through our solar plexus today, I want you all to be very cognizant of where your cords are. Your cords when they need to be pulled will feel exactly like that, a pulling. And you can do this yourself. You don't necessarily need one of these, even though it helps, because it is a crystal that is specific for high vibrational and realigning your chakras, and also with cord cutting. You don't need it. I am very much on hoodoo and any sort of work on a dime, because it's not about how much it costs. It's about the intention that is put into it. You can lay in your bed right now and just get in tune with yourself. Even if it's for the first time, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel a little bit like, am I doing this right? Trust yourself. This is coming from the Reiki practitioner, the Reiki teacher. To trust yourself and to trust the energy that you're feeling. And wherever it is leading you to go, and you feel that you need to pull something up, literally take your hands to your skin, bunch those fingers up, and pull up. And cut, fling it. It's that simple. You don't have to do a whole bunch of chants. You don't have, just pray. Pray that you're protected. Pray that anything that you are sending out will be received, and that your work through this time will be honored and manifested. That those cords that you are pulling, those negative cords that you're pulling out of your body, are being transmuted into good and positive energy, and the ones that are just sick and just disgusting are destroyed. And cut those cords. You can do it at work when someone's getting on your nerves. You can do it in your bed at home. You can do it in your car. You can do it to any point in your body. If it is not helping towards your greatest and highest good, you gotta go. So, I hope you all enjoyed your Reiki / ASMR cord cutting session for your solar plexus. I will be back tomorrow as we go through each chakra, and I really hope you continue to have a great day. And yeah, so again, if you need this energy, it will always be here for you. This work will always be here for you. You don't have to do anything super duper special to receive it. You just have to be in the right mindset to have it download into you. And if you are looking to have your own individual, because this was a collective Reiki session, if you're looking to have your own individual session with me, go to my website. That is unspeakable.com, and schedule your appointment. It's all up to the site where you can schedule your appointment. So until next time, I leave you with all the peace in the world, and continue cutting those cords, and you are worthy. Bye.